IT industry is always an industry that is difficult to predict. Well, talking about 5 years or 6 years ago, we're still using traditional mobile phones like Nokia phones. But now all of us, maybe most of us, are using smartphones from Samsung or from Apple. So, a famous entrepreneur once said, the best way to predict the future of an industry is to create it. And today we are here, our team is here to provide a strategy for Lenovo to create its future. A very warm welcome to you all. We are the consultants from Hong Kong Baptist University. And please allow me to introduce my teammates. We have Thomas, Eric, Anthony, and my name is Ronald. So first we want to look at the key issues, the current situation that the company is facing. So there are two major key issues that we have to solve. The first is that the brand is trailing behind, the brand presence is not established. And the second is the disruption of the PC industry. The traditional personal computers and the laptop industry was actually going down because it's replaced by tablets and smartphones and other smart devices. And therefore, we come up with our three recommendations. The first recommendation is to build a brand new operating system for Lenovo. We call it Wisdom. And the second is to build a brand building campaign that builds the global brand Lenovo. And third is to continue the attack and protect strategy that is currently pursued by the company. And we are hoped to achieve two objectives. The first is that the market share of smart devices shall increase by 50%. And the second is that the brand will enter into the top 30 global ranking. So how did we come up with these recommendations? We want to first analyze the company, the strength and the weakness. So the strength is the product functions, the innovation. Lenovo is doing good in their technology. They have a really good, strong China position. They have a good distribution network, and they have good cost control. They are really good in managing their manufacturing costs. The weakness, however, is the low brand presence globally. And therefore, they're currently using a strategy that is what we call cost leadership. They sell their products at a low price with acceptable good functions, and then they want to achieve a huge sales volume. And we will continue this strategy that will incorporate into our strategy. And because of that, they have a huge sales volume. We're thinking that maybe Lenovo has the potential and has the strength to develop a brand new system. So first, let's take a look at how are we going to continue the protect and attack strategy. First, we want to protect the consistent market share in PC and laptop markets, because currently 90% of the revenue of the company comes from the PC and laptop market. So we need money, we need capital to develop the new markets. So we want to protect this market and keep the market share to be high. And secondly, we will put most of our focus on today's presentation in the attack part. The attack part, we want to attack the smartphone and the tablet market. And second, we want to attack in a new operating system. And now, Eric has more.
Thanks, Ronald. Just to recap, one of the most important part of our strategies is that we would like to attack. And we would like to attack by producing flexible and secure smart devices with high price to quality ratio. So why high price to quality ratio? Because we're targeting on emerging market people with middle income. And these people are relatively price sensitive, but they are more affordable than low income people, and they are looking for some middle priced products. And more importantly, because they can leverage our strength that we are a Chinese brand that is good at price cost control, and that we can produce good quality products with reasonable price. So one problem is that because we are a Chinese brand, the brand originality restricts that we cannot become a very premium brand. Therefore, we are targeting on emerging markets. More importantly, because the product life cycle of such smart devices are relatively short, because technological breakthrough is very fast, and the advances is very fast as well. So we would like to develop some middle price products so as to allow those consumers to change and to switch to other products which are new and more user-friendly. So how can we produce our flexible and secure products? First, let's have a look on the existing comparison of OS operating systems. We have the major Apple's iOS as well as the Google's Android. And we are here to suggest that we would like to suggest Lenovo to produce and to develop a new system called Wisdom. Why Wisdom? Because Chinese name of Lenovo is Lianxiang, and that means thinking. And throughout thinking, we would like to develop wisdom. And wisdom is that we have four main characteristics that Apple's iOS and Android cannot satisfy, namely flexibility, security, synchronize, and compatibility. Because iOS is relatively safer, but because with more control in the apps and other things, and it is relatively less flexible. And for compatibility, Google's Android is its weakness because some of the apps developers would not like to develop those applications in Android because those counterfeit apps can be existing very easily. And therefore, we are suggesting that Lenovo should develop its own operating system called Wisdom. And the details will be introduced by my teammates later. The next part of our strategy is that we would like to build our brand and improve the brand coverage globally. And that we select the World Cup 2014 as our major event. We would like to do this because soccer is in fact one of the most popular and indeed the most popular sport events in the world with many people watching them. Some of the people, even they are not football lovers, they will also enjoy the football during the World Cup. And therefore, it is a good chance for us to extend our brand and to reach more global coverage in this event. And we believe that it can help us to build global presence with a cost-effective way. Next, Anthony, you have more.
So thank you, Eric. So when we are trying to sponsor different teams in the World Cup, we try to ask the company to sponsor the teams, maybe the facilities or the equipment that they need to use in the football field. And also, we also ask the company to promote more in the social media, because now social media can reach a lot of users in the world. And we divide it into the worldwide part and the China part. Because worldwide, everyone will use the Facebook or Twitter to make friends or to know different kinds of things in the world. So we ask the company Lenovo to define and provide more events that can let more people know the brand of Lenovo, because the penetration of the brand of Lenovo is vitally important for Lenovo to promote its brand worldwide. And for China, because the social media is not open to the market, so we ask the company to provide more promotions in the Renren and the Xinnan.com, because this kind of social media can a lot of China users that is the strongest market for Lenovo to provide their products. And we also ask the company to provide more products, to open more directly operating stores, because this kind of stores can make a customized services for the customers, that all of their products may be tailor-made to them and can fulfill their customized needs. So my teammate Eric said, we want to provide an operating system called Wisdom. So what's Wisdom? Because Wisdom provide the users can have an open source, because the open source means that the users can write their programs in front of the operating systems, so that the operating systems can fulfill their tailor-made needs. Because now when people are using Android, they may say, I have lots of choices of applications, but the security is very low. But when we are using the Apple's apps, they may say that it's very secure, there's not many choices for them to choose. So we ask the company to provide operating system that is open source, that can provide the chances for the users to write of the codes of the operating system that can tailor-made to their needs. And also the security, we will ask the company to have a compulsory check-in of the apps to ensure that the virus will not be injected in the applications. And synchronize is that because we are not targeting only for the smartphone, but also on the smart connected devices, including the tablets, because the tablets and the smartphones can also use the operating system to use. So we ask the company to synchronize the operating system Wisdom to different kinds of smart connected products. And also in terms of the compatibility, we ask the company to provide more support for the apps that can be used in Android, because as we all know that Android is open sourced. So the Android can be used in different kinds of mobile phones. So we ask the company to provide an operating system that can let users to use more apps in Android. And now Thomas will have more.
Thank you, Anthony. With all the amazing recommendations and solutions we have mentioned, here comes to the two major risks that we are concerning about. First is that, what if our competitors copy our model? As we are going to merge and acquire some small manufacturers of smart devices in China, and also we have a very good brand name in IT industry. That's why we got a relatively high comparative advantage compared to them. And also we can provide low cost but high quality of smart devices. And the second concern is that, what if our operating systems got virus? As we are going to strengthen our research and developments, and also we will develop owned security system to evaluate the operating systems uploaded by the users, and that will secure us from getting virus into our operating system. And here comes to the financial analysis of our strategy. And in this part, we are going to address three questions. First is that, what are the costs of our strategy? Second is that, how do we pay for the cost? And lastly is the most important part, is the financial benefits of our strategy. And all these questions are based on these three assumptions. That is, we assume the cost and expenditure structure remains the same as the previous years. And also the income sources remain steady from the existing markets. And lastly is that, we can successfully manufacture some high-tech but low-price smart devices at the end of our R&D. And here comes to the cost analysis. And for the operation issues, we implement our strategy step by step, which involves two major costs, which is upfront cost and ongoing cost. And for the upfront cost, it mainly consists of the M&A cost with the small manufacturers of smart devices in China. And for the ongoing costs, regards managerial costs and research and developments, ongoing research and development costs, and lastly is the marketing and the promotion campaign cost for increasing our global awareness of our brand, Lenovo. And here comes to the resource to finance our strategy. And for the upfront cost, we are going to enlarge our retention ratio by 10 to 15% of our revenue, and in case it does not enough to support our strategy, we will borrow more loans at a lower cost from banks. And for the ongoing cost, as we predict our revenue will increase at a rate 100% for 4 years. And from the income statement, it is provided that the revenue grows at a 130% at 2011 and 2012, and this is very sustainable for us to predict this annual growth for ourselves. And this is the projected benefits and timeline. First, I'm going to explain the actions of our strategy. First, in 2012, we're going to merge and acquire some small manufacturers that produce smart devices in China. And also we will do some research and developments for our new operating system, which got good security and open source, which is the Wisdom. And the second year, the 2013, we are going to launch the Wisdom operating systems. And at 2014, we are going to conduct a review on a new strategy to see it is profitable and see the consumers' demand and what are the competitors are doing in the market to see we should do more or less to ensure we are on the right track. And there are two key milestones in our strategy. First is that in 2013, we are going to increase our market share of smart devices by 15% in China market. And also, if we can successfully incorporate our new strategy into our core business, we believe we can enter the top 30 global ranking in 2015. And Ronald will give a conclusion to us.
So the conclusion is very simple. We do not predict, but we create the future. We create the future by creating a new operating system and we call it Wisdom. And so in the future, Lenovo will become a global brand by our global brand building programs, and it will become a pride of China. Thank you very much.
But so is you have still a lot of apps available because now we are still using a lot of Android apps, but at the same time you want a more security OS. So that's the major advantage of your OS.
Yes.
But that means also it will take some time, right, for you to launch your iPhone or smartphone.
Yes.
Because for developing your OS and I don't know, the timeline is in 2 years or 3 years.
It will take like 1 to 2 years to developing the new system, but it will not take really long because the new system will be based on the Android system because we want to get the advantage of open sourcing, like it's compatible to the Android app. So it won't be really difficult to build this whole new operating system.
But there will there be any case in IP application, the Google Android operating system?
It should be
Very
okay
similar.
because we just like because for example now currently there are some other operating systems apart from Androids and from iOS. For example, in China there are some we can't say they are counterfeit operating systems, but they run an operating system that looks like Android. So basically we're developing from this direction, and we're putting more, the R&D cost will be based on security because we think security is extremely important now. You know, there's online purchasing, there's so many online banking, for example. There are a lot of businesses that is going to be held online and through IT stuff. And so security is actually a key issue that very little IT businesses have addressed, and we put this as how we differentiate our system from the other systems.
You mentioned the three trench or three. You mentioned three strategies, right? The operating system, the protective tech, and also the branding, right? So in terms of priority, how would you prioritize your resources, the limited resources to these three strategies?
Thank you very much for your question. We will put the first priority in the operating system because it's a long-term strategy and it's the major strategic focus. And because currently they have a marketing budget, so it really depends on how much resources the company is now holding. So if the company doesn't have enough resources, maybe they can put less money in the brand building campaigns, and maybe they can look for some lower cost brand building strategies. For example, social media isn't a really costly marketing strategy.
To add on my teammate's point, we believe that the World Cup 2014 is a good place because it is cost effectively. We can reach a lot of soccer lovers or even non-soccer lovers because they will also enjoy the soccer games. And this can help our brand to have a better global reach throughout the events.
So how will you be selling your brand?
Thank you for your concern. There are several ways we are considering to do so. For example, we would like to sponsor some of the soccer teams during the competitions, or we will also put some billboards on the pitch of the field, and so as to increase the appearance of our brand during the soccer games. And also we will also do it on social media such as Round1.com and Sina Weibo in China, while Facebook and Twitter in the other parts of the world. We will promote it as part. For example, we can develop some social media games with the theme of soccer or football, so as to attract people who are interested in football games or World Cup, and they can know more about Lenovo.
So what it is Lenovo that's attractive? You should buy. What are you trying to sell?
Well, we will differentiate our product as we highlighted in the attack strategy about our own phone products. We will highlight the price to quality ratio. It sells at a low price, but it's very reasonable. It has good function, it's reliable, it's reasonable. It has good quality as well. So we will highlight this point in our marketing campaigns. And about how are we going to use the soccer cup, the World Cup, yes, the World Cup event. Maybe we can also make use of online channels, for example, video channels, because many people would watch World Cup actually in the internet. So we can put some advertisements at the beginning of the video or during the breaks. For example, making an advertisement talking about a guy watching soccer in another phone that's not Lenovo, and it wouldn't run smoothly. But you can choose a Lenovo phone which runs very smoothly and which is cheaper than the previous phone. So this is how we are going to market our product.
And to add on my teammate, it's not only the spectators who watch the football match, it's a lot of fans who use the TV channel, the live coverage of different matches, including the World Cup matches and the friendly matches before the World Cup. So this kind of live coverage can reach maybe thousands of millions of audiences at once. So it can spread the message of Lenovo more to different kinds of fans in the world.
Do you have a particular segment or target customers that you want to attack in general?
In general, we believe that Lenovo should be targeting on emerging market with middle-income people, because we believe that they are more affordable than those low-income people. However, they are still relatively price sensitive, and we believe that we have good quality with relatively reasonable price. We can attract these target segments. And why emerging markets? Because we are a Chinese brand. We do not have a really high premium like Apple, and we believe that we can target on emerging markets which have better acceptability of Chinese brands.
And how do you achieve the target of emerging market with low cost and high quality? You spend so much R&D on smartphones and also the OS.
Thank you for questions. As those more manufacturers in China for producing the smart devices, the development and research programs done by them is relatively mature. And as we are going to merge and acquire them, and the courses do not involve much, and we can get a very mature technology, and that's why with our logo Lenovo on the phone manufactured by those manufacturers, will get a low price but with a high quality and mature technology systems in that smart devices, and this can that we believe can implement in the future.
To add on my teammate's point, basically we find that there are a lot of smartphones selling in China. They have high technology, they have high specs, they have a lot of functions. They are 4 cores, 6 cores, but they sell at a low price, and not many people buy them because they think that the phone is not reliable. There are a lot of news talking about Chinese phones exploding and breaking down. So we are actually acquiring these companies with good technology, and we put our brand name into them, and then we put our technology, we incorporate our technology into these phones, make it more stable, safe, and reliable, and then we sell these products at a low price and high quality.
Apart from it, we will also make use of our existing distribution network as well as our manufacturing plants worldwide so as to control our cost reasonably.
What is the risk of China? The OS or it's not really
Thank you for questions. We are going to strengthen our R&D, and also we'll build up a new operating system system, and also enhance our security from the opening sources. And this will be an attraction to potential customers which are using their iPhones or Android phones, and they can probably use these new systems to perform better operating systems with their creativity, and we will monitor the creativity by some enhanced security systems and distributes updates to users of our new phones.
All right, then I'd like to thank the students again for the presentation.